All right, guys, it's Thor Sandalwood, and today we are going to be looking at the November 2021 predictions. And as many of you guys have noticed, the world is pretty intense right now. Things are pretty crazy. And I almost feel like a lot of the crazy predictions I had last year around this time, it was almost like it was delayed because I feel like this is the final, this last quarter of 2021. I feel like it's the final countdown to some major changes that we're going to see. Now, we may see some changes in November, but I see November as more of a build-up month and also more of sudden revelations coming out, truth being exposed, because we are in eclipse season this month, and we're going to talk about that, and I have a special presentation for everybody. But whenever eclipse season is upon us, which the lunar eclipse is going to happen in November, and then we're going to have a solar eclipse in December, these should be pretty crazy months. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the world situation, at least what we're being told by the mainstream media, right? But I think at the end of this month and during this month, we're going to start seeing more truth come out, even through the media, where things are going to be acknowledged or different problems that we're having right now. So let me take you guys to the presentation I prepared for you guys. Let's see, it's not, oop, there we go. And let me get to this. Okay, guys, so if you guys like my content, you like astrology, you like Vedic astrology, please like and subscribe. And my goal right now is 10,000 subscribers. We already hit 1,000. That was our first goal. And of course, my goal is using astrology as a platform to awaken people and help people on their spiritual journey. So I do that through my YouTube channel, which we focus on Vedic astrology. And then I also have a TikTok channel where I do tarot card readings, and also with that, I'm using it as a vehicle for awakening, because that's what we're living through, guys. We're going through this mass ascension, mass awakening, where we're going into the age of Aquarius. And yes, it does seem like the world, the governments of the world, the institutions of the world are going into the age of Aquarius, kicking and screaming. So that's what we're seeing right now. So please like and subscribe. Hopefully we'll get the 10,000. My TikTok channel's at 60,000. Really amazing. But thank you guys so much for being here. So let's talk a little bit about the stage of the world, because when we're turning on the news and we're seeing all the craziness, it's like we're living in loony world. So let's take a look at what's going on there. And of course, I put these notes so that I can remember everything going on. So here's the world situation. And obviously, you guys are aware that there's supply shortages that are happening. I'm noticing this at stores when I go to the store. We have airline problems being reported. Today in the news, I think they said American Airlines, there's been thousands of flights canceled. Last month, it was Southwest Airlines, thousands of flights being canceled. We got the tensions with Taiwan and China. We got the Ukraine-Russia tension. That's escalating again. We have the U.S. president, their approval ratings are dropping a lot, okay? We have a labor shortage, and the labor shortage is really being caused, this is my opinion, but by a lack of good jobs. So there's a lack of high-paying jobs. There's a lack of jobs that treat you with appreciation, love, and respect. So I think that's what we're seeing is people don't want to go back to the old system, the old way of doing things, where you pay people low, you treat them like garbage, and you tell them they're lucky to have a job. People are quite frankly done with that attitude. So it is time to move on, and we're changing as a society. The age of Aquarius is more about being connected, unity conscious, having our world love, more influence with love, appreciation, respect, and becoming more connected as a global civilization. So, guys, the eclipse season is really intense. So, we're going to talk about that right now. And let me put the slide up for that. So, eclipse season is upon us, and we're going to have a lunar eclipse in Taurus on November 19th. The time is going to vary wherever your location is on the planet. Eclipses are super powerful energies, and so what I'm expecting is volatility in the stock markets the next 1 or 2 months. So November, December, probably even into January, because a lot of times these eclipse energies can last, the eclipse energies can last up to 3 to 6 months. These are really big cycles we're going in through. So I know I have a lot of subscribers that they invest in cryptocurrencies and the stock market. What I'm going to tell you is to tread carefully because this is volatile, okay? So let's go back to that. There may be new highs in the markets because Taurus rules the second house of assets, and that's where the north node, Rahu, lunar eclipse is happening. But guys, remember, Rahu is a trickster. In the end, this could be all smoke and mirrors. Tread carefully. So guys, Rahu is like the god Loki. If you guys watch Thor the movie, not Thor me, but Thor the movie. And Loki is the trickster. Loki makes you feel comfortable with whatever's going on, and then all of a sudden they pull the rug out from underneath you. So that's what I want you to tread carefully right now. Even though you might see the stock market going up, it could be a lot of smoke and shadows with this, okay? Rahu is known in the descriptions of Rahu. Rahu is called oily and smoky because it's a smoke screen, okay? You're not seeing clearly when Rahu's influencing your mind, okay? That's important. Also, guys, the thing I have to talk about is I do have to bring up the point that the eclipse, Rahu, and the moon are both going to be in Kritika Nakshatra. And you guys may have watched my prior video where I talked a lot about that. If not, please watch that because I really specialize on what it means with Rahu going through Kritika. Kritika is powerful, okay? Kritika is known as the razor because it cuts deeply to the truth. So expect hidden things to be revealed this month. Many people will awaken with the powerful truth energy. Kritika is ruled by the sun. And the sun, guys, is truth. It also represents your soul. Kritika cuts to the truth even if it's unpleasant. Be cautious this month. So Kritika is going to be the person that they tear off the band-aid even if you say ouch and it hurts. They're going to tear off that band-aid off of you. Sometimes in metaphysics and spirituality, we talk about fierce grace. Or, when the doctor, when you were a child, gave you the bad tasting medicine to help you. That's what Kritika is doing. It's giving us that bad tasting medicine. And, the world's really going to wake up because sometimes the world, it won't wake up until things get very bad. When I look at my own personal awakening, I didn't start meditating and going on my own spiritual journey over 10 years ago until my life was getting really bad and I had to look inward about what's going on. Why is the outward environment like this? Because it's just a reflection of what's going on in your inner environment. So always keep that in your mind, okay, guys? Now we're going to talk about the planets. So this issue of truth being revealed is going to be big this month. There might be certain things that we're assuming as truth, but there's a big elephant in the room, okay? So I even think towards the end of this month, and I told you guys earlier, I think even the mainstream media is going to acknowledge a lot of this truth, especially in the second half of November. We're going to start seeing things kind of get admitted. Things might not be as great, as happy-dory, as being painted to us, okay? So let's go to the sun because now I'm going to be looking at the planets, guys, the planets that I feel are the most relevant. We're not going to look at all of the planets like Mercury, Venus, and so forth. But what I think is really important this month is we're going to look at the eclipse, which we just looked at. Then we're going to look at the sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, because I think that's where we're going to see a lot of what's going to be pushing and manifesting this energy forward. Okay, guys? So the sun, guys, remember the sun, we have Rahu we have the eclipse happening Critica, which is ruled by the sun, and the sun represents truth. But we also have the sun transiting Libra the first half of November until November 16th. There's going to be a spotlight on matters of justice and fairness. We may see more big court decisions, like in the United States, it would be more Supreme Court decisions. And I think because of the nature of everything going on, I think these decisions people collectively are not going to be happy with. You know, we've been seeing that they've been siding a lot lately with the status quo, with the old system. And we're going to talk about that towards the end of this. That this is all about what everything that's happening in this ascension is the old world is trying to cling on to that power as they're being drug away. They're the one that's grabbing on, trying to grasp at anything to keep the power structure, the old power structures in play. And remember, guys, I showed you this, the pyramid here. This is the old world order. It's all about pyramid, top-down control. But we're going to be going into more of a circular, think about it. We're going more into this age of Aquarius, which is a circular sort of existence with interconnectivity and unity. It's not top-down pyramid structure. It's a circle. It's all of us getting together and solving the world's problems. So what I do feel like, I feel like there's going to be large-scale protests that are going to be inspired because it's going to be the feeling of injustice, things not being fair. It could be the requirements and things that they're pushing forward as well. Then the sun is going to enter the volatile sign of Scorpio, the natural 8th house of upheaval, and that's going to be November 16th. So just think of that. I mean, Scorpio is already kind of a volatile sign to begin with, right? Scorpio represents these deep hidden truths deep in our subconscious and our psyches, right? And then Scorpio is the natural 8th house of sudden eruptions. So we could see sudden eruptions of political protest. And I'm a little bit worried about the aspects of violence happening at these two. So I want to just kind of put a caution out there for you guys for November, December. Be really careful. I would tell, I've been telling my clients, if you don't have to travel, I would tend to be on the more conservative side right now of not traveling if I don't need to travel. That's going to be one of the warnings that I'm going to put out there. Not to be in a fear vibration, but to put you in more of a confidence vibration of that you're confident, that you know what's going on and you're aware of what's going on. So the next thing we're going to look at is Mars, guy. Mars will be transiting the sign of Libra the entire month of November. So that's why this is so powerful. You have the sun that was transiting Libra until November 16th, and then Mars is entering this fray. And Mars will be transiting the sign of Libra for the entire month. Mars and Sun will be shining the spotlight again on equity and fairness. Mars has a tendency to excite and agitate people. Expect many demonstrations this month. Possibility of violence and other eruptions. I got to throw that out there. I know we're trying to stay positive, but what's Critica, guys? Critica is all about the truth, even if it's unpleasant. And so if people are kind of sitting in their cave, not knowing that there's things happening out where it's really not helping them that much. So I also want to warn you guys, I did get some intel. I've been, studying the different sources I go to. And my intel, this is not astrological, but, it does tie into this Sun-Mars thing in Libra and the demonstrations I see happening this month. But there is some intel that November 8th through November 11th, there may be some big political movements, political swings happening across the globe. Big walkouts and strikes and things like that. So keep your guys' eyes on that as well. I just wanted to share that with you before I forgot. The other big thing happening this month, guys, is Jupiter's going to be changing signs again. Remember, it went retrograde into Capricorn. Now it's going to be entering Aquarius. So Jupiter enters Aquarius November 21st. And remember, guys, Aquarius is the natural 11th house. So the 11th house represents rallies, large gathering, movements. And what does Jupiter do? Jupiter expands those things, guys. So 11th house is large movements, networks of people. I expect, just think about it. Remember the Sun and Mars transiting Libra about fairness and equity. And then we're going to have Jupiter transiting into Aquarius on the 21st. Again, these are large political movements. The 11th house is all about huge political rallies. To me, it represents the masses. Like when you think of the masses of humanity, that's Aquarius. Aquarius is like the everyman, you know, the common people, the workers, you know. So I see that this with this Libran thing with Mars and Sun, Jupiter in Aquarius, I feel like there's this energy that's building, and we're going to see the energy building through the month. And that's where I think we're going to see some very big specific events happening in December and January. And we're going to talk about those more when we do the December and January predictions. But I think this is all leading to, you know, it's leading to an event or events that I'm kind of worried about. Okay, so we'll talk about that in more of the future, but I want you guys to have that in the back of your mind as you're living your lives, going to work, you know, being with your families. Just, okay, we're in some volatile times right now. And, you know, the volatile times we're in it's growing pains. The old order doesn't want to let go, you know, it's growing pains. Let's talk about the final thing here, guys. And, you know, I've been talking about this. I've been blowing this trumpet for, I think, a couple years now. But, you know, we still have Saturn transiting Capricorn. And Saturn transit the natural 10th house, which represents government. So what I'm expecting is we're going to see these large movements, large protests, possibly even there may be some violence at these because of the Mars going through Libra. So I want to say it could have a flavor of tensions. So I'm expecting governments and corporations to not be flexible about anything going on. And Saturn is about adherence to the letter of the law. Governments will continue to enforce strict regulations and requirements. These are viewed as necessary because Saturn fears chaos, especially collective chaos. So guys, this whole thing with Saturn, it's super serious, okay? Because Saturn really does represent government itself, and then it's transiting the 10th house. So Saturn is all about seriousness, sobriety, strictness, letter of the law, not spirit of the law. You know, so we're looking at Saturn being very strict because Saturn is ruled by anxiety and fear. So what the people in charge fear, what do they fear the most? They fear chaos. Because, you know, Saturn represents the old order. It represents, they think the people running this, the old order, they do think it's the best thing for humanity. So in their minds, you know, it's very fear and scarcity based. The model is they think this is the best system. And so Saturn does, and Saturn has its purpose. I know I kind of bag on Saturn a lot, but you know, I'm a Leo, so Sun is not happy with Saturn. But Saturn does have a purpose, and Saturn does provide stability and order in our lives. So there is a reason why Saturn's in our lives. For example, and this is a little aside, but if you think about it, guys, your skeletal structure, your bones are ruled by Saturn. Your bones hold your body up. You know, without our bones, we would just be blobs of flesh and blood without any structure. So that's what Saturn does on a collective level, it gives things structure. But the issue is right now is this structure needs to be changed. We have Pluto that's been transiting through Capricorn, and then we have Uranus that's been squaring Saturn. So this is showing there's a need for change, and especially a lot of my viewers, a lot of my subscribers, you guys are in the cryptocurrencies, you guys are innovative. You're thinking about, okay, we need to start incorporating more of this innovative thought process into our lives, into our governments, into our societies. So that's what a lot of this is about. Now let's go to the last slide here. Saturn and Capricorn continue. So expect stern responses to protests and other political protests. Heavy response with government forces. Preserving the old order is top priority. However, there will be forced to change in the long run because of Pluto and then Uranus. Expect the change to be arduous and slow. So Saturn's all about resisting change, guys. Saturn's all about things, you know, being very slow about changing things, super slow, like glacier slow, guys. So be careful with that. But you know, we're being forced to change as a world, as a society, and it's going to change, but it might take some time. And I don't see the change happening overnight. I see this response of us going into Age of Aquarius. I see it as kind of a slow I see it as a process. It isn't like we're gonna wake up from one day to the other with this new like reality all of a sudden downloaded to us. Okay, there's gonna be series of events that take place that put us into that new reality. Let me see if there is any questions in the chat. I want to welcome anybody that's been watching. Thank you guys for coming. So I want to just let you guys know with that this is going to be a great time to go within and really take a look at your meditations and your meditation and yoga practices. And also it's important to go inside right now and practice forgiveness of everything that's happening. So you might want to forgive those people out there that have been deceiving us in some way. We need to get into this new spirit of forgiveness and love, and really so we can build the new society that we want to build. But I think we're going to go through a lot of growing pains. I want to thank everybody that's come to watch my live stream. If you guys are interested in a personal private reading, check out the link. There should be a link in the description down below. And it will take you to my website where you can book a reading with me, either live Zoom reading or a recording if you prefer that. We have a special discount this month, 20% off if you use code name Thor. So really cool. And that's going to be for the month of October and November, which October's over. Happy Halloween, everybody. So I want to wish you guys many blessings. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Give me some feedback. Let me know what's going on in the world. What's your opinion? Thank you guys so much. Somebody's asking, will finances be good for Leos this month? Okay, so Leo, and the person's named Leo. Okay, so Leo, as far as will finances be good for Leos this month, the most important thing that we have to look at with Vedic astrology is we need to look at what kind of Mahadasha or Bhukti you're in to see if you're in a good financial Bhukti. But, Saturn's transiting the 6th house for Leo, which tends to be good. And then Jupiter is going to be transiting the 7th house. And I see that money is going to be good for Leos, self-earned money. So if you have a side hustle or you have like some sort of self-owned business, it will be good for you because Mars and Sun transiting the 3rd house of Libra for Leos is going to be all about self-earned wealth. Okay, so that's what I see. So if you have your side hustles and side gigs going, it will be good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leo's like, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching and taking this time with me. Many blessings to you. And have a happy Thanksgiving. I do intend to put another video out next Sunday, though. I'm going to try to get in the routine of doing Sundays. So many blessings to all of you.